Okay, so the first thing I traded today was C. But what we're going to go ahead and do is let's go ahead and say, hey, not the first thing we traded, but what's the thing that had the most flow? And the thing that had the most flow today, I would say overall, is probably CVX. But if you're looking at the morning, we're going to say it's going to be Intel. And why Intel, if you're looking at it, you have this state, elephant bar off the state, 1, 2 push, 3 push, get out. Another bar, get out, second leg. So there's the elephant bar right there. Let's go to C though. So for C, our play, what we ended up doing is we saw, here's the 200. We saw a green bar, and we considered this a green bar takeout of a bar that touched the 200. So we set our stop right here. It went up against us, it went against us, and then as soon as it got here, we added because it got back to our spot. And then it added some, and then it came right back against us. And we should have just got out of our one we added and then let the play out as it is with our original stop right here. And then just let it get stopped out here. That's not what we did. And that's an issue. We have to stick to our rules. So all we have is our rules. But because we didn't, here's what it ended up doing. Remember, we can play off that is if it's the 200. A nice entry would have been this elephant bar that was selling to that bar right there. Add here or here with the stop right there. And that would have been the better play for the day. And then keep in mind, combine that bar with this bar, and we get a bull 180 with a 3-finger spread. And we can play that one up. We can add right here. And we can get out right here. And then this we missed right here, but this is the takeable offense. This is a tail bar. Remember, tail bars consist of about 10% of our plays. And look at this tail bar right here. We got a tail bar. Leads us to an elephant bar. Leads us to outside of this trap zone. Comes back. Healthy pullback. A sell right here. Color change. That would have been another take we could take. And we ride that down. And then we get another pullback. Not as healthy. Falls back down. But keep in mind, this can be played as a 200. We have a downward sloping 20, so anything off of that 20 going down we can pretty much play. Here's something that we could have played. We have a elephant bar off of a 20. Set the stop. 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. Keep in mind, we're going to get some resistance from here. We're going to get some resistance from here. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, resistance from here. I'd probably get out there. I'd say we have an off, but that's not really significant enough to consider it. And then keep in mind 11:30, so we really shouldn't even be playing any of this time right here. So let's say 14 comes. Is there a move? Is there a move? That looks like a move right there. Healthy pullback 3. Elephant bar. All of that. Let's set the stop. See what it does. What we ended up doing is we get in here. We wanted to get in here, so we were late. And it goes completely against us, which is understandable because realistically the tail bar's here. 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. Get out here. Where most people are getting out, we're getting in. Which, that's a recipe for failure. Now we did get in another position in here. I like this. Off the 200, position of power. Right here. Bought in here. Should have bought in here. 2 lots. Should have added right here. That would have been a nice add. What we did is we got out here and got out here. And that's just too soon. That's just too soon if we're going to take up everything that we're saying. And we need to get the longer plays to make up for our short-term losses. We have to just let this play out. Set the stop here until we get 3 pushes. And we'd say 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. Get out. Next stock we're going to go over is CVX. Now, CVX, not going to say it was tricky. Just going to say that if you look at it, and Oliver said it today, you can't look at stocks. If you're going to trade it in one time frame, you got to trade in that time frame. Beginning of the day, you get an elephant bar. Let's say you're looking at, hey, here's the narrow state. We're going to erase that for now. We get an elephant bar off the state, off the 200. That's a fantastic thing to buy into. We get a neutral bar here, which is understandable because it's trying to break or sear into a 200. Then it breaks it, and then we get kind of a tail bar off of a flat 200, and let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. So we've got to move this far. That's a 1 push, 2 push, 3 push, take profits. Let's see a healthy pullback, What we did is we saw this tail bar right here, and we consider that a buy opportunity. Set the stop under that tail bar. We consider this a leg 2. As soon as it came in here, and we got this, we considered that a color change. We bought more right here. We took a profit right here at a new high, or new high right here, new high profit take. And then we took a profit here, and we took a profit here because that was into the flat 200 on the 5 minute. Now, Oliver talked on this, and one of the things he was saying is, hey, if you're trading one time frame, you can't really look at another time frame because it's going to mess you up. You can look at it as advisory, but you can't just manage the trade on the other account. Sometimes it'll work, but long term, it's not best of what you should be doing. And it just worked for this instance. But if you were to think about it, hey, I'm getting in here. I want 3 pushes from here. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that would have took me all the way back here, but eventually we did get that push here, and it kind of kept going. We would have got way more than that push had we stayed in it, but that's a hard thing to do. And the other thing, looking at the 5, you're looking at, hey, position of power on the 5 minute. And what that ends up doing gets you the great move right there. Next stock we're going to look at is Uber. And that's really difficult because we wouldn't have got back into. We would have avoided 11:30 till 14. Next stock is Uber. So for Uber, keep in mind you fill this in. So this is an entire green bar. What we ended up doing, we try to mimic what we saw yesterday. So although this was falling down, we're looking to play this on the 5 minute. We're not really looking to play it on the 5 minute. We're just considering, hey, this is a green bar. Here's 50%. Here's 1/3. Here's another third. If we can get a move here on the 50% or even lower, we know we can aim for about 75% of the move to come back. That's something we know we can do. So as soon as we get that move right here, we buy into it and we set the stop. We're stopped out immediately. But if you take the time and look what the move ended up doing, it worked. Get out right there. Or sometime in between that or here. Either or, the move, the methodology, the thought process, it was on spot. The issue is just that we just weren't able to execute on the entry. It just snapped us out. After that, we can just say, hey, 11:30, let's avoid it. Let's go till 14. This looks choppy to me. 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 Now, that might have been the one that we tried to move. We got in a little early. This is probably the sell that we're looking for. Wide state. Down. We weren't able to take advantage of that. What we did is we tried to take advantage of off the 200. And we missed that really, but we got in here and we didn't see this. This bar right here is often an indicator because it's a tail bar. Tail bar is a reversal and it's lower than everything else. So had you seen that tail bar right there, probably wasn't a good move to get out. We didn't. We rode it all the way back up to the 200 and it kind of got us out right there. And then this right here, it's not flat. It's kind of acting like a 200. So it's kind of hard to know what it's going to do. What we did still is we bought off of the 200, held it, said our stop was here, came back, got out. This, I really don't like this trade at all. This was just us wanting some action, which is an issue in its own right. That's something we're trying to get over. It's not action for having action. It really needs to be a solidified move that's in our playbook, that's in our list. That's how we're going to get better. But if you look at the 5, I mean, you could say that this is a, hey, flat 200 and a play off of a flat 200, which is justified. It's just, hey, are you going to play the 2 or are you going to play the 5? You can play both, but when you play the 2, play the 2. When you play the 5, play the 5. Our next stock's going to be Walmart. So this right here, we could have looked at it like, hey, position of power off a flattish 200, sell into that, clearing this zone, sell into here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Get out here. Majority of your shares. This is an unhealthy pullback, so we can't expect too much. But that's a sell sign right there. Sell sign enough to look at about 75% of this move or 50% of this move. Right here, we get out. And keep in mind how flat 200, how strong that flat 200 is. We have a flat 200. Probably could sell right there. Keep in mind higher low, higher low. Probably expect a higher low from this. So look at around this area. Even though this is trap zone, these are just how we would play it. And then another, hey, flat 200. Color change, sell it. I'd get out like right here. That it seems as if that one seems to go lower. Now we're out of the trap zone. So off the 20, sell, set to stop, come back, sell more. What we ended up doing is we were looking at power position, not power position, but 3-finger spread and a color change, and we got right back there, but we knew it was going to fall. And as soon as we got that same tail bar right there, we got out because we knew that tail bar meant it was going to fall a lot. Now the better play, and we didn't really see it at the time, was, hey, here's the 200. This is a declining 20. So you want to sell that, set the stop, let it ride, let it ride. Now that we got in it, we got out, lower lows, we're in it. Looks like that's the 20 is inclining. It's not really respected. That's an elephant bar right there. I guess you could combine these two bars, but if you had to sell, you could sell it. And let's see where it leads. And you can't be greedy. I mean, if you got in here and you got there, that's a whale. You have to get out right there. Even though it dropped further. Maybe you get in here. I mean, that's late, set to stop. As long as you protect yourself. But no. This might be considered a bull 180, but that's late in the day. Next stock is going to be Mark. Here's a position of power, but we're looking at day here. So we don't really get to move down. This move up. Keep in mind, this extends all the way out here. That would have been a decent move to play. Sell. Set to stop. Does it come back? It's kind of a hard comeback. Doesn't come back immediately, but it's a hard comeback. That's just you lost. Higher lows. Looks like lower lows. Really avoid. $14. Let's see what we can do. I would have tried to sell this narrow state. Keep in mind that this is moving like a 20, so it's not really reliable. One try, two try. Wouldn't have tried the third try. Looks like the third try worked. That made up for all of it. Elephant bar, or elephant. That's a buy right there. So those are the stocks we took today. We'll be back at it tomorrow.